So there's this other video, and this time it's a little different from our usual Vimana videos, conspiracy theory videos, because this time he says the origins are from the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita, which again I've said in multiple previous videos that it's not the case. The origins are from this text called the Vimana Shastra, which claims it's from the Vedas. But let's see what this person says, and let's debunk what he says.
All the way back to the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita, which are some ancient Indian texts, and there they talk about Vimanas. And in these Vimanas were talked about and written about that they actually had Mercury engines and were able to levitate and fly silently across the land and transport the kings and elites from place to place. So we actually looked into that and said, could this be possibly real? And the more we looked into it, the more we found that it could potentially be very, very real theoretically. So we started experimenting with different concepts of using mercury because that's what they used. And mercury is a ferrofluid. It's actually a liquid metal. So we discovered that by putting this liquid metal into a torus, which is a steel torus with a reverse magnetic field inside of it, to keep the actual fluid from the ferrofluid from touching the inside. And then you actually can bring it up to a rotation to an RPM of about 50,000. Once you do that, and then pressurize that torus to about 250,000 pressures, you then get this amazing anti-gravity bubble. And you don't get complete anti-gravity, but you do get to reduce the weight of an object. With anything within the range of that torus field will be reduced by up to 70% the mass. So these are some of the theories that we're experimenting with, and we're very excited about it because it really looks like we'll be able to provide something that could potentially provide an anti-gravity or reduce the mass of an object.
Okay, I don't know where to begin. There are so many things in that video that are so problematic. The first thing that you should spot in videos like these, where people are saying things that seem scientific, but there are very obvious, clear red flags that you can spot, which make it so clear that he has no clue what he's saying. First of all, he said 250,000 pressures. What the hell is that? Pressure has a unit. He didn't use a unit. What the hell is 250,000 pressures? That has no meaning. He talked about anti-gravity. There's no such thing as anti-gravity. For regular real-life daily applications for earthbound systems, gravitation is an attractive force. Two masses can only attract each other. There's no such thing as repulsive gravity. So you cannot have anti-gravity. There's no kind of anti-gravity that can reduce the weight of something. There is reduction of weight through buoyant forces, through let's say if you have some mass of something that's dipped in some fluid, let's say if something is sinking in water, its weight is reduced by a certain amount. That is because of buoyancy, because of buoyant forces. But here there is no such thing. I know what he's talking about. There is no anti-gravity that reduces the weight of something. Also, he said mercury is a ferrofluid. He said ferrule fluid. I can only assume he meant ferrofluid because I have no idea if there is a thing called ferrule fluid. There's no such thing I've ever heard of. Please Google if that exists and let me know in the comments. And if he meant that it is a ferrofluid, then I've got news for you, buddy. Mercury is not a ferrofluid. Ferrofluids are things that, have magnetic properties. They're attracted towards magnets, and that's not how it's being used over here. So, yeah, he's just saying a bunch of things that sound scientific. What he's saying is not real. He's just a conspiracy theorist trying to peddle his conspiracy theory. I'll see you in the next one.